To make this ornament, I did use a kit, but if you can't find the kit, you can always just use a circular cookie cutter and some clay from a craft store. Hello and welcome back to another episode of Jeffy and Chihuahua. Today we're going to be doing a paw print ornament, and I actually got this at TJ Maxx. It was $5. It says the comparable price is $7, but regardless, I thought $5 was a really good price to make a homemade ornament. They have quite a few of these kits, and I know all TJ Maxx's vary in what they carry, but in my experience, the more seasonal items, a lot of the stores will get. So definitely it's worth stopping by a TJ Maxx to see if they have this in stock. So when we open up the box, it comes with a package of clay, and this, which is 2 different sizes of molds for our ornament. And then it also comes with a ribbon so that we can hang the ornament. I guess 2 ribbons. And it comes with a rolling pin, which I was really excited about because I do have a rolling pin, but when I bought my rolling pin for a previous video, it was very hard to locate one, especially at a decent price. A lot of the ones I was seeing were really expensive, and they were fancier, so I'm sure they were worth it if you bake all the time, but I rarely need one of these. So I was glad to see that they give you one just so that you don't have to buy anything extra. You could make an entire ornament just from this kit. We are not going to stop here though. We're going to take it one step farther, and we're going to add a glitter rim and glitter to the paw print. And then we're going to do a nice glaze over the top using an epoxy. That way that it looks nice and shiny and all of our glitter stays in place. I grabbed a non-stick pan for this. It's obviously not necessary, but I think it will be useful. We're going to use the little mold because he's a teeny guy. Our first instruction is to take the dough out of the package and just knead it for about 30 seconds to a minute. He likes to sniff the things. Hopefully he doesn't mind putting his paw in this. I like to take him to paint pottery with me, and he does a really nice job sitting quiet while I paint, but sometimes I'll put his paw prints on things, and then he's always like, "What are you doing to me?" So I believe the reason they want you to knead it for a little bit is just to get it warm and soften it up. That way the paw print goes in pretty easy. And this dough feels really nice to me. I don't play with clay very often because I'm not very good at shaping it, but this does feel really nice in the hands, and it's relatively soft. I mean, soft enough that I don't need anything other than my hands to mix it up. We're just supposed to fill this up and roll over it with our pin. The rolling pin, it helped a little. It didn't help as much as I thought it would because the wood from the rolling pin started sticking to the clay a little bit in. All right, now we're going to take the straw they gave us and poke a hole for our ribbon to go through. I can already feel the stuff hardening a little. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. The straw technique worked flawlessly to make a hole. I almost feel like I should have done the paw print before we did the hole, but it's too late now. So next we just need my best friend. And this might be difficult. I know. Perfect. He did so good. He did such a nice job. Thank you. Thank you so much. He said, "Mom, I hate you. I hate you so much." So we got a really good indent from him. We should be able to add glitter to this perfectly. I definitely suggest doing the paw print before the hole because it's a little lopsided, but that is perfectly fine. I'm going to leave it to dry, and then we will come back tomorrow when it's dry to decorate it and finish this off. I took our ornament out of the mold during the drying process, and when I checked it at 24 hours, it was still a little bit soft, so I let it go another day. And after that day, it was pretty much hard all the way through, but it's so thick that I went ahead and pushed it out of the mold and let it sit for an additional day. If we were just following the instructions from this kit, all we would need to do is add our ribbon and we would be completely done with this project. But I think that we could dress this up a little more and make it look extra nice. So I have some green glitter and I have some red glitter here. You can use glue for this step and it will come out just as good. You would need to let that glue sit to dry for a full 24 hours though. And here I have some UV resin, and this stuff cures under the black light in about a minute to a minute and a half. So I'm going to use this just so we can get everything finished off. I'm going to pour some into a cup and then mix a little bit of glitter in and then put it on our paw print. Alright, so this is what our paw print looks like right now. It's nice and green and shiny. And next up, I'm going to do a red rim, and we're just going to use the same technique where we pour some glitter and some resin into a cup and stir it together. Alright, and then once we have a nice coat on the outside, we'll just hit it with our lamp again. And if you're doing it in parts, just make sure that you're hiding what's left in your container from the light. I finished giving this a good cure for about a minute and a half on all sides. And I think that it looks pretty good. We have a beautiful red band and a lovely green paw print. I want to write his name on this and then the year that we did this. So to do that, I'm just going to take a black Sharpie. Times like these, I wish I had better handwriting. And now we're on to our final step. I just cut the end off of a plastic cup to make us a little stand. I'm going to use a resin that has to set for 24 hours. You technically could use a UV resin for this, but I just think this one has a better finished look. To mix this kind of resin, all you need to do is put in 1 part of one bottle to 1 part of the other bottle and stir for a couple minutes. And the nice thing about this kind of resin is it's self-leveling and self-degassing. Most of the bubbles that you have will pop. If you're having issues with too many bubbles, you can always run over it real quick with a heat gun. All right, and once this has gotten a good stir, we're just going to lightly put it on top of our ornament. So we're just going to let this drip dry for about 24 hours, and then we'll come back to it and put our ribbon through and we'll be done. And there's our beautiful completed project. I did get a little bit of bleeding. I think that this wouldn't happen if you let the permanent marker dry a little bit longer than I did. But overall, I am extremely satisfied with our ornament. Please like and subscribe. Thanks for joining us.